I'm Pat Vanatter, and I'm from St. Thomas, Ontario, which is only about 15 minutes from London.
Now, you went to the concert in 1968 where Johnny Cash proposed to June Carter. What are your memories from that evening?
Well, I was there with my cousin and her husband. There was the three of us, and we were sitting in the second row, and it was just a fabulous, fabulous concert. What with the Statler brothers, and they got a standing ovation for How Great Thou Art. I think the third time around, it was fabulous. The Carter family, and then of course Johnny has always been an idol of mine, and I just truly adored him. So. You want to know about the proposal because that was the highlight of the whole night.
Right.
And in my recollection, they were singing Jackson, in the Ring of Fire, and, they were singing it together. And he said, "Will you marry me? June, will you marry me?" And it was, I knew right from the beginning, or I felt in my heart, that it was true. I think after that, everything went blank.
I have a poster of the actual show from 1968. I think it was $2.50, by the way, for the admittance. It was $2.50 to get in the show. It was at the old London Gardens. Became the Ice House in later years. And it was Johnny Cash and the Tennessee Two were playing. And, of course, June Carter was there with Mother Maybelle and the two sisters. And it was just a country and western show as far as we were concerned. We had no idea what was going to develop later on as the evening progressed. But anyway, about halfway through the show, he just turned his back kind of to the crowd and he said, "Will you marry me?" And she said in the loudest southern accent that I ever heard in my life was, "Will I?" Like that. She said, "Will I?" And then they broke into Jackson, which is one of their songs. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. They sang Jackson together.
I was in the fourth row with my mother, my father, my grandmother, and my cousins that are here with me tonight were also there. And he had just finished singing If I Were a Carpenter, and he turned to June and made his marriage proposal to her. And I remember June saying, "Oh, Johnny, stop that. You're embarrassing me in front of all these people." And my initial reaction was it wasn't genuine, it was just part of the show.
He was clowning around with the guitar a little bit, and then he looked at June. He said, "June, you're looking beautiful tonight." And she didn't say too much at the time. And then after that, he said it again. He said, "June, you're looking good tonight." And she was kind of shy, about it. And then he said, "Well, June, will you marry me?" And she said, "Oh, let's sing a song," she said. "And then I'll let you know after the song." And after he proposed to her, I don't remember too much of the show after that. I think we're all in shock.
Yeah. Did you think it was real?
Well, no, not really. And then we heard about it in the, I guess, Free Press or on the news or something like that. It was actually a true story, what they did.
Yeah.
What we weren't entirely sure of, I got to be honest, is whether this was a bit of a showbiz shtick. Maybe he does this in every town, right? But I do clearly remember him saying words to the effect, "Will you marry me?" And the words she said were, "Johnny, you're embarrassing me in front of all these people." So then there was some flirting and some kibutzing, and I don't recall her clearly saying yes. And then the media reports the next day said, "Cash proposes to Carter," and we went, "Wow, that wasn't a shtick, that was real."
The audience really got into it, and of course they were saying, telling her to say yes, and that was the main thing I remember. Yeah.
Did you feel it was real, or did you think that it was something staged just for that evening?
It was probably staged, I would think. I would think.
So you thought it was staged?
I mean, they really did get married, but I think they wanted to sort of put London on the map a little more by doing it here, and Saul Holiff was from here and that, and so I think that was his thinking,
It was my first concert, as far as I know, in my life, from what I can recall. And I when I realized this was a true proposal, I was thinking, I got to go to another concert. This one had a wedding proposal. What else do they do besides music at concerts?